Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here, Fabiana, Guy, Pascal, Anne, and Thomas. We are at the third MyACT session.
And it's our first time together, I guess.
It's our
because
first time
yes,
together.
yesterday it
It
was
was the other sister.
the other sister of the ex sisters. I won't say who's the better, but we'll come back to that maybe at the end of the
Yeah,
program.
well,
No, just kidding.
I'm the best. I'm the best right now. You have to say that.
True.
We're happy to have you all here today because it's a special day, and we're doing a special MyACT on actually an event that Thomas came up. The idea came out of this brain a few years ago.
My God.
Because because
Exactly.
we had the exhibition outside the Palais until 2015, and then we came inside the Palais with the Lions and the help of the Lions, but we missed the outside people of the Palais. So what happened, Thomas?
I won't really take the whole credit for that. I think that was a collective effort of the IAA board. I think the premise was that we are talking about inclusivity, welcoming people into the space around impact and sustainability. And I think we need more people as part of that conversation. So I felt Cannes, unfortunately, tends to be wristbands, guest lists, passes. So I felt that didn't really sort of go well with the spirit of ACT and welcoming people in here. So the idea was, let's open up this house. Let's get people in here, let's get the public in here and see, in fact, that our industry, $1 trillion spent, is also driving amazing change. And for people to see that with their own eyes, seeing the ads there on the walls, I think was just the right thing to do. So it's always the Wednesday I'm super excited about because we never really know what happens. We never really know who shows up. Last year we had Jimmy Kimmel popping by.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
only in Cannes.
Yeah, and it's funny because Open House for Good came I don't remember, it's like the fourth year. But before, the first ACT exhibition was 25 years ago. And we were outside, and Bernard Brochon, who was chair of DDB and mayor of Cannes, wanted to have he was saying it is the link between my citizens and my passion, my profession. Sorry. So last year we opened the Open House for Good with Fabiana from IAA Brazil because it was Creative Country of the Year was Brazil. And Fabiana, what happened? Tell us about what happened last year.
It was a very amazing year. So IAA Brazil didn't exist at the time. So I was just co-chair of the Sustainability Council for IAA Global. But we loved this place. We had this amazing idea of bringing the most sustainable T-shirt idea and bring one of the inspiration for the market, the Brazilian market, which is Oscar Metzavat from Moskland. And it was really amazing. I think he really inspired us. And he opened the house, and it was something that he still remembers today because it was super
Yeah, it was
impressive.
very, very emotional.
Yeah.
And so we kind of came up with that idea this year that because Brazil was Creative Country of the Year, and then another country this year, I wonder which country is Creative Country of the Year, that maybe it would be a good idea to pass the torch.
Exactly, and just to sort of, because I loved having Oscar there, and it reminds me, he did this T-shirt, and the concept behind the T-shirt was ASAP.
Yeah.
So he's creating a sustainable T-shirt, as sustainable as possible, as soon as possible, and I thought that was quite a nice take on that. But yes, you're absolutely right. We have passed the flag from Brazil to, drum roll, France. Pascal, you are Mr. France, right? Let's. And I know you had a session yesterday, and your little session, you brainstormed because there is, and excuse my friends, égalité, fraternité, and
Liberté, égalité, fraternité.
Exactly. Did you come up with a new slogan for France Creative Country of the Year? What's the punchline?
Revolution.
Oh, nice. No, but obviously, I mean, the French creativity, I think last year we saw AXA, we saw a lot of brands sort of showing up. How do you think that it resonates internally in France with the brands, because you represent IAA France as well?
First of all, last year was the first time we celebrate a country here in Cannes. That's the reason why it's the first time also we transmit the torch between us. And it's great for us, for IAA especially, to do it with, because as you said, Fabiana, before, IAA Brazil didn't exist last year. So now it's done, and congratulations for that. And no, it's, we are really proud, of course. It's an honor to be a Creative Country of the Year. Something happens, really, for the French people, for the brands. Lots of brands are coming. So Anne is just on my side. But not only lots of French brands, we have lots of famous brands. And they win lots of trophies also here in Cannes. Agency, of course. We have two big agencies in the top 5, Havas and Publicis. I feel they are, usually it's not like that. This year they are really together, and this is really important for us. So something happened. As you know, I have also a place, La French Connection, where we try to be together with brands, with agency, with tech, with organization. ACT is a support too. So really something happens. We are trying to move the line. You know, it's a small village. Here Cannes, it's a little bit American during 1 week. And because of this torch now for us, we can show that France, it's, I speak about a revolution. Yeah, we are a little bit different. We are a small country, really small. Yeah. We are 70 millions against 7 billions people in the world. But we are a little bit famous since a long time.
But it's very true, and I think also the honor of actually, in some ways, winning it on your home turf, in some ways, right?
Yeah,
you're taking
for sure.
it back. You're taking it back.
Really often I say Cannes, it's in France.
Exactly. For those who don't know geography out there, so we are in France right now, and that brings me to you as well, because Orange is obviously a French company, but with a global footprint. So before we sort of dive into some of the work that you're doing around impact, so what does it matter for you that France is a Creative Country of the Year? How does creativity matter in terms of the work that Orange do?
Well, Orange, as you said, is a French company, but an international group. So we are operating, in many countries, more than 26 for B2C and many more for B2B. So we are a global, and we are leading an international brand. So I just wanted to stress out that this is not a French brand, this is an international brand. And as you say, well, being a French, having the French origin, in our group is really important, because this is a personality that we have as French. Speaking about creativity is also, speaking about how to differentiate, how probably to have a little voice which is different and which is highly important in the world that we are all living now. So yeah, creativity can help. Being French can help. Being courageous can help too. So we are, I think, quite courageous, as French, and we have values, and we are fighting for those values, So it's really, really important to reassess that. So it's not only, the company here, but it's really the role that we need to play and differentiate it in this, quite tough environment in which we are all living.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think courage is probably one of those things we need to remind ourselves as marketeers is needed in times of challenge. Guy and I actually also talked about courage yesterday, but I'll come back to you in a minute. I know one of the things that I've been impressed about is this initiative that you've been running for some time called 50/50. Could you Tell me a little bit more about that, just for our viewers here today.
Yeah, well, it's quite important, and this is more than an initiative. You know, it's how to invest in real life to make the change in sport and in football. You know, female sport. So we were quite good at you know, putting a marketing budget as 50-50. We were quite good, you know, to stress out, you know, that we are still fighting against stereotype and bias, you know, in those. But the change that we want to you know, apply is building facilities, is changing real life, you know, for female football, and it's where, you know, the 50-50 came, which is really how to invest real money in facilities, working with third parties, so the French Football Federation, in order to really flag 50% of the investment that we are putting on the table, you know, for the sponsorship agreement for female football development in real world. So having more fields, more referees on the field, more changing rooms, you know, for them to play. So it's a big, you know, initiative. It's a first of its kind worldwide, and we are applying this rule now in all the contracts that we are renegotiating worldwide. So it's not only in France, so it's a French initiative. I'm global, so it's really, you know, taking what's going on in France as, you know, something which is different and applying, you know, the same rules worldwide in all the assets that we are, you know, having and negotiating. So yeah, it's going to be the big change now. Not only marketing, because marketing is, you know, on our shoulder. It's now, you know, working with third-party federation to make the real change. And just one word, this is not real 50-50 at the end, because what looks equal to orange, the 50-50, is in fact highly unequal, because you have less licensee, less football players, you know, female football players than male. In France, you have more than 2 million male football players versus 250,000 female football players. So in reality, is investing 8 times more per player, you know, with this 50-50 rule. So what looks equal is in fact unequal, but it will really bring the change and be something that can help more female football players to live their passions.
And this is something that's extremely close to my heart. My niece, who's 16, plays football, got her first contract, and because the mother's Brazilian, she actually have chosen not the Danish national team, but the Brazilian national team. So that probably speaks to the talent that Brazil has in football. We'll see who wins, France or Brazil this year. But you know.
Who knows?
Over.
but Guy, we had a.
And you said what?
Over.
French.
I think you're two.
For sure.
It's going to be.
For sure.
Yeah, Denmark. I'm from Denmark. Denmark didn't make it this year, so I'll just stay out of this conversation. I think we lost. But anyways, Guy, we had a conversation yesterday here in the hub, and I think that's one of the things that this hub is for. It's facilitating these conversations, and what's so important right now is in these challenging times that you touched on as well, is to show up and show support. So why is it important for Diageo to show up at the Impact Hub this year?
I think first of all, it's an honor to represent a brand that in a company that is present in more than 180 countries, but with a connection for Brazilians that really the brands really resonates with Brazilians. And we are a company that we craft iconic drinks, and we are a company of socialization and celebration, but we have responsibility and moderation at the heart of our strategy. We have a Diageo marketing code that has been present for more than 20 years that has really specific rules of how do we portray and create desire for the behavior that we wanted to see now, that now we are seeing often and more often, that consumers are engaging with our brands with moderation, seeking for more balance, seeking for more premium experiences. So it's really good to be in a place like this one, to discuss, to talk about what we have been doing, to learn from others, to get inspired by others, and also have creativity at the heart. because this is a moment that we can look from a regulation perspective, but we decided at Diageo to look at a creative perspective on how do we bring this to the center of our brand building, to the center of the way that we build our brands. And it's really good to see some other examples like doing the same. So, and having this ceremony of getting the two countries together to pass the torch, to talk about creativity and celebrating our countries. I think now we don't need to think about who's going to win the World Cup. We're both winners from that sense. Yeah. And then we will see how that goes.
We'll probably see the two of you meet each other in the semifinals. And then in that way, you kind of both winners. But
it's always a good idea, France, Brazil.
It is. It's in fact. It's. I just for those of you who obviously didn't join the session yesterday, I will encourage you to go and see Guy from Diageo having a conversation with Nestlé as well around a thing that is going to be my next question for those who didn't join the session yesterday, which was something that I think a lot of marketeers could take with them home as a little thing on the mantelpiece. Because we talked about this idea of how we still in this day and age have a tendency to interrupt audiences. And I think you said something that resonated quite a bit with me in terms of how do we change that? Because ultimately it's becoming harder and harder to reach audiences. It's not necessarily that artificial intelligence and data and all these things are helping us. But what was your message of comfort to all of us in the industry?
Yeah, because I think the media got so complex that I think brands are more and more trying to participate in many conversations as possible to make their brands more mental available to consumers. But this is complete interruption if you don't have a big point of view and add something to consumers. So I think we had a really good conversation on, I think it's a fundamental of brand building, really knowing your brand, really knowing what you're all about, really knowing what makes you distinctive, and knowing what you won't do, there's nothing to do with our brand, so don't try to go there. We talked about music and how music became the culture, the territory that all brands wants to thrive. And even in sports, we talk a lot. If you're going to do something, get your point of view. We gave an example of, I'm going to come back to World Cup now, because we gave an example.
You really want.
That is, in 2026, it's 24 years since Brazil won our last World Cup.
Oh, a long time ago.
A long time ago. And the biggest time that we haven't won a World Cup was 24 years. So we need to finish that. There's nothing more than 24. But thinking about a Scotch whiskey that has time and value time, this is our way to connect in the World Cup. So we talked a lot about examples on how we can have a unique point of view to make consumers look at us and make consumers be entertained by us.
I'm going to jump on that because I had a really nice conversation earlier with Cécile Chambaudrie from NRJ Global, who's also a partner of the Open House for Good. She couldn't come this morning on the plateau, but she actually. With NRJ Global, you're going to listen to it. You're going to have to read it, actually, if you don't speak French, because it's in French, the interview, but it's subtitled. Yeah. With NRJ Global, 21 years ago, they created someone to become the best friend of our kids when they go out and drink. Let's listen to Cécile.
Let's watch it.
Bonjour Cécile, trop contente de te retrouver ici à Cannes.
Eh ben, bonjour, je suis très heureuse de pouvoir être avec toi aujourd'hui également.
Alors Cécile, tu nous rejoins aujourd'hui dans la grande aventure MyACT,
oui,
qui a 25 ans cette année. Et cette année, on a lancé un appel pour donner de la voix aux entreprises qui s'engagent et qui font vraiment une différence. Et je crois que chez NRJ Global, on a repéré, identifié un personnage Sam, et qui effectivement est là depuis un petit moment.
Alors Sam, c'est un compagnon de route pour nous auquel on tient beaucoup. C'est un compagnon de route, c'est le cas de le dire, de la prévention routière, avec lequel on a la chance de pouvoir évoluer depuis quelques années à travers les NRJ Music Awards. Alors, Sam, c'est toute une histoire. Il y a plus de 20 ans, la prévention routière qui fait le constat que les accidents de la route sont majoritairement chez les 15-24 ans et que c'est là où ils sont mortels et que ces accidents sont particulièrement dus à l'alcool. Donc, ils se disent qu'il faut qu'on fasse quelque chose, mais quelque chose qui ne soit pas culpabilisant. Donc, on n'est pas du tout dans une action pour faire qu'on se sente mal ou quelque chose de trash à l'anglo-saxonne. L'idée, c'est à ce moment-là de créer un personnage auquel les jeunes vont pouvoir complètement s'identifier, qui s'appelle Sam, et qui va être celui qui ne conduit pas et celui qui conduit mais qui ne boit pas, voilà, mais qui va conduire. Et en fait, ce qui est génial, c'est que maintenant, Sam s'est passé dans le langage commun. On en parlait tout à l'heure. On dit à nos jeunes qui est-ce qui fait Sam, ou eux-mêmes disent c'est moi qui suis Sam ce soir. Et ce qui est assez fantastique, c'est que à travers ce personnage, on se rend compte que il y a eu une vraie baisse de la mortalité chez les jeunes. C'est 57% de baisse en 20 ans, quand c'est 30-34%, je crois, sur toutes les classes d'âge. Donc il y a eu une vraie emprise, mais positive. Et puis nous, NRJ, on a été heureux d'accompagner ce personnage sur les NRJ Music Awards, où on fait toute une action pendant 6 semaines avec des actions en radio, des jeux concours, et puis le personnage est là pour un before, et puis le soir de la cérémonie des NRJ Music Awards, où il va à la rencontre des jeunes, où il incarne finalement ce copain qui a une conduite tout à fait vertueuse. Voilà.
Et du coup, Sam, on peut rappeler ce que ça veut dire, Sam, parce que c'est un nom, on en connaît d'autres, on en parlait tout à l'heure en Belgique, il s'appelle Bob. En tout cas, Sam, il a été baptisé Sam pour une vraie raison.
C'est sans accident mortel.
Ouais.
Voilà, sans accident mortel.
Donc tout simplement, c'est incroyable. Et puis Sam, du coup, accompagne ces jeunes depuis 21 ans. Donc Sam a la grande majorité cette année.
Oui, c'est un grand garçon.
Grand garçon, devenu très responsable. Qu'est-ce que tu pourrais... Pourquoi cette campagne finalement a traversé le temps? Et est-ce qu'elle est encore vraiment efficace, cette campagne?
Alors, efficace carrément. Alors, les chiffres le prouvent. Et puis, moi, ce qui me frappe toujours, c'est que quand on a Sam, justement, sur les NRJ Music Awards, on peut faire des selfies avec lui, des self-Sam. Et les jeunes se battent pour être à côté de Sam. Donc, je crois qu'il a un côté éminemment sympathique et tout le monde peut se projeter en lui. Et je pense que c'est aussi à l'image de notre média. C'est quelqu'un d'accessible, de simple. C'est un compagnon et il est positif aussi dans ce qu'il véhicule. Donc ça le rend complètement intemporel. Et c'est comme ça qu'il traverse le temps, sans une ride.
Finalement, je me dis, il traverse un petit peu le temps aussi avec nous, les parents, parce qu'il est né quand à peu près nos enfants, en tout cas, vu nos âges, sont nés.
Je confirme.
Et voilà. Et donc, c'est devenu aussi le copain des parents. Il est là pour vraiment nous rassurer.
Il nous rassure. Et c'est c'est ce que tu disais, c'est rentrer complètement dans le langage courant. C'est qui fait Sam ce soir. Et c'est très rassurant de savoir que les jeunes pensent spontanément. On fait une soirée, qui va être le Sam, voilà. Et moi, je trouve ça formidable, ce travail qui a été fait, cette construction dans le temps, avec ce personnage qui est tout simple et qui, justement, n'est pas du tout dans la culpabilisation, mais au contraire, dans ce côté qui ne porte que des valeurs positives, en fait.
Et alors du coup, là, Sam, on l'emmène à l'international parce qu'il est très français. Et donc, quand on a fait notre appel pour donner de la voix à ces marques engagées, vous avez tout de suite répondu oui. On va donc en reparler tout à l'heure parce qu'on va avoir Open House for Good.
Oui.
Et du coup, vous serez là aussi. NRJ Global sera là pour raconter cette histoire. Pour nous, c'est important de pouvoir aussi la porter à l'international pour inspirer d'autres à avoir des Sam ou des Bob. Ou des Bob. Et du coup, finalement, est-ce que c'est un grand pas pour NRJ Global de venir à Cannes et fièrement pouvoir parler de ces initiatives. C'est quelque chose que vous ne faisiez pas avant.
C'est complètement nouveau pour nous et c'est vrai que c'est une fierté parce que en fait c'est quelque chose que l'on fait très naturellement tous les jours, j'allais dire sur nos antennes, en radio. Nos animateurs, ils portent en continu tous les petits gestes qui font la différence dans la vie quotidienne pour faire attention à l'eau, pour faire attention aux autres, pour faire attention à la planète. Tout ça de manière toujours positive, sans culpabilisation et juste à travers les petits gestes du quotidien. Donc en fait, c'est des actions qui nous ressemblent et on est très très heureux de pouvoir être là et de pouvoir vous accompagner cette année.
Bon ben merci. En tout cas, on se retrouve donc tout à l'heure à Open House for Good. À 2h, on ouvre les portes du palais et on vous attend nombreux avec énergie et avec d'autres belles marques comme Orange en France qui aussi fait des choses incroyables et dont on entend parler tout de suite. Bah du coup, on entend parler tout de suite. Oh, I'm in French again. Oh, sorry.
You are in France. You are in France, and you speak in French.
Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'll put my AI translator. So yeah, sorry, we are back on the studio, and yes, we talked about what you're doing, the campaign 50/50, which is amazing. But Orange is really involved and committed through many initiatives, and one that regroups a little bit everything called For Good Connection. Can you tell us a little bit about For Good Connection initiative?
Yeah, and as you said, I mean, we are a committed company, we are a committed brand. The 50/50 is more than a campaign, it's really, you know, changing things in reality. And For Good Connection is the initiative, which is a bit the umbrella of everything we do, you know, to train young people and to use our sponsorship asset. We are quite strong in football, quite strong in e-sport, quite strong in music in some countries, not in France. But we are developing, you know, some ateliers, a workshop for young people to play and to be trained and to be educated with a good, you know, posture using digital. We know that digital is a fantastic opportunity, but it has bias, it has issues like cyberbullying, time scream, access to inappropriate content, and we are using our sponsorship asset to train those young people, and we have targets. So by the end of 2030, our target is to have trained more than 3 million young kids, both girls and boys, and it works really well. So we are using the assets, you know, to have this done, which is highly positive. So yeah, we wanted to give a bit of clarity with For Good Connection on what Orange is doing, the way we are doing it, and the way that we want to build a safe digital world for all. So this is the objective.
One of the campaigns is especially marked me because it's a kid sitting in a bed. We have it in the exhibition in his bed, and he's reading a book. And there's the light, like if it's, and I think that the tagline is something like, there's other way.
There are other books, there are other ways to,
other books
but
to read.
It's not us, it's Fnac who did that.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
No, that's great. And you know, Fnac did a fantastic campaign, which is highly creative, highly, you know, differentiated. So yeah, this is Fnac who did that. What we are doing on our side is really, you know, mixing the sponsorship asset and having a real workshop to train kids. And we are doing that since many years, so it's not something new. And as I said, this is part of the DNA, and I'm really on the same, you know, line when you say brand consistency is key. So we need to have, you know, a consistent brand to differentiate for sure, and to be consistent with our commitment, which is key.
And I think, Anne, you bring this up, and I think this is key in the hub. This is not just about saying, this is also about doing. It's acting on your commitments, working for those structural changes, and it actually also, we're so obsessed sometimes about ROI, but also actually measuring the impact. What are the lives changed? What have you actually done for football in general? And it looks like you have to go and see the exhibition now. Again,
No,
a little
I'm sorry,
reminder
because
to you.
Snack has the same square, and it's the third day in Cannes. Okay.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful brand too.
And
So you know, and I
Exactly,
love
it
the campaign,
shows-
and
it
you love the
shows that
campaign.
French brand.
Oh, it's another French creative brand. Thank you for bringing that up. That's France Creative Country of the Year. But also, again, I think this is a good reminder that Open House for Good opens today, obviously at 2 to 4. We're going to have a red carpet moment that Frank Sterling from Cannes Lions, obviously the passing of the flag from Fabiana, IAA Brazil, to Pascal from IAA France. And we're going to have some exciting conversations in there. Orange are going to be there. G, we're going to see you again. And not only that, but we're also going to put a focus on a lot of the organization that is doing really, really hard work in our industry, changing our industry. One of them is obviously ACT, 25 years of creating change on the ground. Congratulations, that is quite an achievement. But we also have other organizations, Open Chair, Suhana is going to join us. We've got Conscious Advertising Network, Harriet is going to join us, and CCDC, Adrian is going to join us, and they're going to talk about how you can participate, how you can commit time to these organizations. So Open House for Good, 2 to 4. Go and see the exhibition. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you so much for the support here today.
Thank you.
And it's the last opportunity to vote for your preferred campaigns.
Exactly.
See you at 2.
See you too.